What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success strategist. Welcome to the Uzziah Show, where being young, black, and successful is celebrated. I am your host, Uzziah. And if you have any comments or questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on this Sunday night, y'all. My internet's been tripping. Thank y'all for bearing with me. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties. I may have to end up finding a different internet package, but that's part of the game. Thank y'all for joining on. For those of y'all that are joining us for the very first time, my name is Uzziah. And in 2013, I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University. I'm a best-selling author, a real estate investor, and entrepreneur. But most importantly, the reason why I created this channel is to help you get to the next level. So thank y'all for tuning in once again. And tonight we're going to talk about how to invest. I pray that all of y'all had a great weekend. And if y'all got folks that are out there that are looking to tune in, make sure that you spread the word that we are on. Shout out to my brother Chevis. Good to see you on as always, black man. Good to see you as always, man. Peace unto you. Tuning in from Houston, Texas. The brother said tonight's class is sure to be a hot topic. Hit the like and subscribe button and make sure that you share with 10. Absolutely. This is going to be a very, very important subject for us to dive into. Big shout out to Malawalaki 40. He said, passing through, displaced by Hurricane Ida in southeastern Louisiana. Definitely keeping you in our prayers, man. Definitely keeping you in our prayers. And I pray that all is well with you and your family. Shout out to Esther that's on. Shout out to the brother Juice that's on. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. We here, y'all. Let's get into today's topic. Now, as always, y'all know we're going to talk about how to invest. And I'm going to open up the phone line. So please make sure that you cam up. Please make sure that you give me all of your commentary and thoughts about investing. Give me your questions because this is for you. I want to be able to give you a step-by-step walkthrough on how to invest your money. Now, I do want to point this out just for legal disclaimers. I am not a licensed investment advisor. This is purely educational content as a part of my experiences. So this is in no way investing advice. If you want to get professional investing advice, you can always go to a licensed financial advisor. Now that the legal stuff is out the way, tonight we're going to talk about how to invest. Okay, so y'all know I want to give y'all as much free game as possible. That's the reason why you join. But as always, I got to make sure that I ask for one thing in return, and that is no bad energy. No bad energy, y'all. When you come on a channel, make sure that you keep it respectful. Make sure that you keep it positive. Make sure that you keep everybody encouraged. There's so many haters in this world, y'all, and this is supposed to be a real safe haven for our community to come together and to celebrate each other on this journey of life. Let's continue to celebrate one another. Let's continue to reward each other for the great that we do in our communities. And we don't always have to agree on everything, but please, let's make sure that we keep things cordial and respectful as possible, y'all. You know, we don't need to be making no bad scene for the world to see. Number two, let's keep the engagement flowing. You know, I know that we ran into some technical difficulties in getting going, but hopefully we're back on our feet now. So please make sure that you leave me some comments. Thank y'all for already commenting before I even got on. That was definitely love. Greatly appreciate y'all. Shout out to Juice. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to Ariel, Esther, Chevis. I'm seeing all of y'all. I'm seeing y'all. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes to over 50% right now, y'all. That will tell YouTube to push the content out to more people. Y'all already know I want this content to get out to our entire community all around the world. Not everybody has to agree with everything that I talk about, but they need access to the information. Okay. A lot of us didn't come from the best neighborhoods or had the best upbringing. And now you have an opportunity to learn how to do better. Okay. Y'all always know I talk about this. Let's get these subscribers going, because once we get the subscribers going, that's when this hoodie, along with the Black Men's Career clothing line, will be on the YouTube channel. Okay, so if y'all want to get some of this Black Men's Career apparel, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That will make sure that once we hit 10,000 subs, we will get the clothing on YouTube. And y'all already know, to keep the show going, Oh, thank you so much, my brother Juice. He says, when you find out how much for new internet, I will pay 1/4 on the first bill. Just let me know. Hey, that's the type of investment that I'm talking about, man. I really appreciate y'all's support. I really appreciate everything that y'all do to help keep this show going, y'all. It's not easy to do this show 6 days a week. It's not easy because there's so much behind the scenes work that goes into every show. You know, there's internet, there's outside forces that are outside of my control. To be honest, the internet connections, even in this area, really are not where they should be, especially for such a strong tech city. But thank you. And I will keep y'all posted on how the internet is looking. It's been tripping y'all this past week, but I'm glad I'm still on for now. And just in case the connection drops, know that I'll be back on. I'm just resetting my internet, y'all. All right. So thank y'all for joining, and make sure that y'all please smash the like button as you come in. Okay. It's totally free. It don't cost no money, but please also make sure that you do give a super chat. Okay. The super chats are what help keep the show going. As y'all know, like we were just talking about with this internet, it may end up coming down to I may need to stream from a different location. I may need to be able to get an even higher package than what I already have. So thank you so much in advance for all of your support. Thank you so much in advance for all of your donations. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen in terms of how to be able to donate. So for those of y'all that are just joining and you want to be able to leave a super chat, all you have to do is hit the dollar icon directly below the live chat box on YouTube that you're looking at, and that will allow you to bring forth a super chat donation. Your donations help to keep the show going. Also, as you can see, I just added to the screen the Cash App and PayPal information. I really want to thank a lot of you guys who have been sending forth some donations on Cash App. It's really been amazing. It's been wonderful. I want to give a quick shout out to the brother David Robinson for giving a $5 Cash App. Thank you so much for all of the support. Really appreciate it. As I always say, whether you give a donation live, which is much needed, or whether you give a donation after the show because you might not be watching the show in real time, I'm always going to acknowledge you. And none of this is taken for granted. So thank y'all so much. And as always, y'all do know that I do promote businesses on my platform for free. So if you have a business and you want me to promote it on this show in front of my audience, please feel free to send me an email at uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. Make sure that you leave your website. Make sure that you give me all of the details about your business and let me know exactly how people can get in contact with you to sponsor your business. Okay. Thank you once again, as always, to all the sponsors of the Black Men's Career Show. As soon as you end up bringing forth a donation, that makes you an immediate show sponsor, and I will recognize you and respect you as such. Now, let's get into the topic: how to invest. One of the biggest challenges on how to become wealthy is how to invest. This is one of the biggest deterrents when it comes to our community creating generational wealth. You have to know how to invest your money because the value of the dollar is dropping by the day. Y'all see that we are at a all-time high in terms of inflation. We're reaching record numbers in terms of how much everything costs. And that's why we have to have investments going so that way we can keep up with the rate of inflation. So just to put this in plain English for y'all, when you're working at your jobs, you're getting paid on a fixed salary. The amount of money that you are being paid stays constant, but housing prices are going up, car prices are going up, education prices are going up, food prices are going up, gas prices are going up. And so how are you going to be able to afford your same cost of living that you have right now if you keep getting paid the same amount of money? One of the best ways to be able to do this is through investing. Investing makes sure that your money grows over time so that way you can keep up with the price of living. All right. Y'all know it ain't always easy out here. These streets get a little rough, and I want to show y'all the 5 easy steps to investing on today's topic. So if y'all like where this is going, again, make sure that you leave me some comments. I saw Dr. Autism say, I do inventions. Wonderful. Tell me about them. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you do on that. And let's get into the topic. So the first thing that I want to do as I get into this topic is I just want to be completely transparent with y'all about my investment portfolio. I have a collection of stocks, bonds, index funds, real estate, gold, and cryptocurrency. And I'm going to talk about the reason why I invest in all of these things. But most importantly, I want you to understand that your key to generational wealth is not copying me, but rather understanding why I do things the way that I do it. That is what will give you the proper perspective on how to think rather than what to think when it comes to investing. You know, I'll tell you guys about my investment strategy, and then from there, you can make your own informed decisions. So my biggest investments right now are in real estate, then stocks, and then cryptocurrency. Now, the reason why my biggest investment is in real estate is because I decided to buy my very first investment property in North Austin about 6 years ago, well before a lot of people moved to Texas. I saw a big opportunity and I got in on it early. And as a result, the value of that investment property has almost 3x. I tell you guys about this all the time. I bought the property initially at $230,000. I bought it at 20% down. And when I bought the property, it was so funny because my real estate agent at the time was telling me that I was overbuying. But I kept telling my wife that I had a feeling that this part of Austin would turn into the Manhattan of the South. And lo and behold, the biggest shopping plaza is right around the corner from me. I'm right next to the soccer stadium here in North Austin. There's a lot of attraction coming to this area. And so the property value has increased drastically. But I am big on real estate because for me, the reason why I got this investment first is because not only did it give me a place to stay for free because my tenant will cover the mortgage, it also gave me an opportunity to start generating equity into an investment. As I continue to say, my investment property has 3x'd within 6 years. It's a pretty good ROI. And some of you may know that Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, predicts that Austin will be the biggest boom town in America over the next 50 years. So if you can get rental property in Austin, you're already batting 1,000. Okay. There's a lot of demand and a lot of competition to do that. I was fortunate to get in early. But again, the reason why I got into real estate really first and foremost is because I already needed a place to stay. So instead of me just renting out another apartment, I decided to get an investment property where I would live in one unit and my tenant would occupy the other. So they would pay for my cost of living. And then second, I would get appreciation from that equity. The price of the home has 3x. And most importantly, one of the biggest reasons why I got this property is because if the Lord ever blesses me with children one day, this gives me an opportunity to be able to have something to pass down to my child where they can make money from the property while living in it all at the same time. My goal is to have this investment property completely paid off by the time they become an adult. However, I just wanted to set my investments in place now so that my future generations could reap the benefits later. That's the key to generational wealth. You know, even with my real estate investing, it also gives me opportunities to create great rental property for people that are in my church. A lot of y'all know I lead a church, True Spirit of Christ. And with Austin being one of the most expensive rental markets in the country, for a lot of people, I allow them to come and stay in my property with no background checks, as well as a discounted price. I give them at least a couple $100 discount from what they would have paid for any other property in the city of Austin. And so you just want to think about this from the perspective of you investing is not about money. It's about the opportunities that you can give to other people. Some of y'all might have kids and you might want them to be able to inherit one of your investment properties. So that way, if they ever fell on hard times, they could stay there without a problem while making some extra money. Let me start checking out the comments just to see where y'all are at on things. Thank you so much, my brother Juice. Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate the $10 sponsorship. And this helps to keep the show going. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I could really use more sponsorship, y'all. I could really use more super chats. So if you're just coming in, make sure that you smash that like button, hit that thumbs up. If you want to be able to donate to keep this show going, because I always tell you that this is the only positive Black male media outlet in the world that focuses on financial, spiritual, and communal empowerment. This is the only place where you get that emphasis all in one. And if we do not invest in positive Black male media, then nobody else will. So we shouldn't complain about what we don't have if we're not willing to invest in the things that we are trying to put in place. Malawilaki 40 says, talk to me. I invest in index funds. I'm getting on that. Absolutely. I'm getting on that. Absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing that out. And I just want y'all to be able to know that if you do have questions pertaining to your business, career, or your finances, then make sure that you leave me a super chat, just like Juice did, but put your question in the super chat so that way I can pause the show and I can address your question. Okay, now getting back to the topic at hand, how to invest. So I told you guys that my primary investments right now are in real estate, then stocks, and then cryptocurrency. The reason why I invest in real estate is because it gives me the opportunity to be able to live somewhere for free while also making a recurring monthly check, while also giving me appreciating equity, while also giving me a place for my future generations to stay and make money. That's the first thing. The reason why I invest in a stock market is because the stock market really is one of the best long-term investment vehicles. There have been more millionaires made through the stock market throughout history than through any other investment vehicle. There are a lot of millionaires that have been made through real estate over the past 15 years. There have been a lot of millionaires that have gotten there online within the past 5 years. Overall, throughout the time of America's history, the most people have gotten real wealth through the stock market because it's pretty straightforward. It's something that anybody can do, and you don't need to have a lot of money to get started. And then lastly, I'm also into cryptocurrency because I am a firm believer that the power of the US dollar is folding, it's crippling, it's going under. I think that over the years, there has been so much irresponsibility by the government in managing the United States dollar, in printing out so much money. A lot of y'all are probably already aware that over $6 trillion was printed out during the time of the pandemic alone. So the more money that gets printed, the less the value any $1 holds. I'm placing my bet money in part on digital currency evolving more over time. You know, the US dollar has been around for a while and it's had its power, but I suspect that digital currency, cryptocurrency, is going to get stronger over time. And I've seen gains from this arena, but again, enter at your own risk. Now, let's get into a couple of things before I run through the 5 easy steps to investing. The first thing that I want to tell y'all is that if you are really serious about investing, I strongly recommend that you get out of debt first. What I mean is, if you have credit cards, if you have auto loans, you really want to focus on paying these things off, because paying these things off gives you the cash flow to be able to invest at higher amounts. If y'all checked out my shows from last week, you'll know that I talked about how a lot of people are delusional in thinking that all you need is $5 put into the stock market and somehow you're going to end up with 5 million. The people that make the money through investing most of the time are people that put in big money and it turned into even bigger money over time, because the ROI is only as good as the amount of money that you put into it. Okay, if a stock rises by 50%, it's still 50% of whatever dollar amount that you put into it. So 50% increase on $1 is definitely a lot different than a 50% increase on $500,000. You want to be the person that has $500,000 in there, so that way you could walk away with a lot more money. It takes money to make money, and that's the reason why I always stress that you get out of debt, because not every annual return will be positive. There are going to be some hard investment years ahead. Y'all have already witnessed different recessions. But one thing that is guaranteed is the interest that you're going to pay on your loans. You're going to pay interest on your credit cards. You're going to pay interest on your auto loans. You're going to pay interest on your student loans. You're going to pay interest on all of these different things. And that's going to take away so much of your money that you're going to lose out on what you could have had if you had gotten that out of the way, got the cash flow that was going towards it, and then you just put the money into an investment account on autopilot. If you have a car note right now, chances are you're probably paying upwards of $500 per month on the car note, the insurance, and the upkeep of the vehicle alone. And so imagine what it would look like if you could invest that $500 every single month towards an investment. That would take you a lot farther than the money that you have to pay towards a bill. That exact same $500 compounded over the next few decades would turn into $1 million. So don't think about it as, oh man, well, the reason I keep this auto loan is because of this. That auto loan is costing you $1 million. I just want you to know that. You might not have $1 million loan on the vehicle, but when you do the math of taking that exact same money that you put towards that loan and just putting it towards an investment, you actually walked away with over $1 million. So you got to ask yourself the question, is it really worth it? The first thing that I did when I got out of college is that I went on a mission to get out of debt, getting rid of my credit cards, getting rid of my student loans. And once I did that, I had well over $1,000 a month that I could have put up on the investments that I wanted to get. Okay. This gives you better opportunities to create wealth. And the reason why I'm saying this right off top is because I know that this is the thing that y'all hate to hear, because investing sounds so sexy. Getting out of debt sounds so not sexy, but I'm telling you how the game is played. When you look at guys like Warren Buffett, how often do you hear him talking about the types of debt that he has? The man lives in the same house as he had from like 1970. He's not running himself up in debt. The people that have real wealth in America understand building wealth. It's a lot like a staircase. And when you try to skip from step 0 to step 5, you're really going to hurt yourself. So if you don't have any money in your emergency savings account, but you're trying to invest, you're going to hurt yourself, because as soon as an emergency happens, guess where you're going to have to pull money from? An investment account, which can come with tax penalties. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Some of y'all might not want to pull out the money from your investment account. So instead, what you'll do to get through your emergency is you'll take out more debt, and that will sabotage your finances. I always stress the importance of getting out of debt, making sure that you have an emergency savings fund, and making sure that you have insurance for you and your family to protect you from emergencies. A lot of us don't understand or realize that all it takes is one major emergency to bankrupt your family. All it takes is one car accident, and now you have to pay medical bills that you will be stuck with for life. This is why you need to have insurance. I know the talk of insurance ain't big in our community. We don't have medical insurance. We don't have life insurance. We need these insurance policies, because that is what positions us to be able to invest effectively. If you don't have an emergency fund, if you don't have insurance, guess where the money's going to come from in order to pay your outstanding bills? You're going to be pulling right from your investment accounts into the things that you owe, and that's going to stop the value of compound interest. The way that people make the most money through investing is through compound interest. You got to be able to put your money into an account, and you got to let it sit there for a long time. Okay, so just giving you all a little bit of game. Let me start checking these comments again, and let me thank my brother Cephas for the two $20 super chats. Thank you so much, my brother. Peace and love to you, my black man. Thank you so much for that, man. Many blessings unto you, my brother. I really appreciate all the support. The support is needed, y'all. The support is needed. Okay, I want y'all to look at what Malawalaki 40 says. I'm dealing with emergency right now. This Hurricane Ida. Emergency funds keeping me afloat so far. Y'all see that? But see, we never want to talk about this because it doesn't sound as sexy as investing in real estate. It doesn't sound as fun as investing in crypto. But man, do you realize that if Malawalki 40 would have not had an emergency savings account, they'd be in a world of trouble right now. And that turns everything upside down. See, a lot of times, y'all will go through a situation in your life, one real emergency, where you may be tempted to pull out money from your 401k or your IRA. You will be tempted to pull it out prematurely. And when you do that, you're going to be met with so many tax penalties. You're going to take up an upfront penalty from the investment account, and you're going to get hit on the back end from the IRS for another tax penalty, all because you did that. So you have to know how to structure your money in the right way in order for the investments to take off. Arawan asks, do you invest in crypto? Yes, absolutely. I'm definitely a Cardano boy. I have money in Cardano as well as Polygon. Okay, now again, for those of y'all that are just joining, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure that you give a super chat donation. All you have to do is tap the dollar icon below. Those sponsorships help keep the show going. It tells YouTube that y'all want the show to stay. Okay, see, these, even though YouTube allows people to be able to upload content, YouTube is a lot like TV in that when you see a TV show, it has to have enough backing to be signed on for another season. That's how it is for me when I do a show on YouTube. That's the reason why I'm asking for your sponsorship, because your endorsements allow me to go to YouTube and say, hey, they want me on for another day. They want me on for another season. They want me on for another year. So you are literally telling YouTube, if you want to see positive Black male media around, if you want to see it around, then donate. Now, going back to where we were on investing, this is another big myth. Okay, I want you to take note of the myths that I'm highlighting. The first myth is that you should just jump into investing right away. Who cares about your debts? Who cares about all these bills? You really need to get your finances cleaned up on a certain level before you go big into investing. The next thing that I want to discuss is how a lot of us have a myth that people, I'm talking about the top 1%, they build their wealth through investing. That is a myth. The top 1% does not build their wealth through investing. The top 1% preserves their wealth through investing. They do not look at the investing markets as a wealth building vehicle because they don't hang their hat on a vehicle that they can't control. They don't start at nothing and say, hey, I'm going to put it into this stock and hopefully it takes off. And one day I'll wake up and I'll be in the 1%. They do not gamble on the things that they cannot control. What the top 1% does is they create businesses that allows them to control how much money they're going to make. And then they will take the proceeds from their business revenue, and then they will dump that into an investment. Now, I want to point this out because I know that some of y'all are more into investing than you are business, and some of y'all are more into business than you are investing. It's very hard for those of you that are business owners to keep a thriving company for an extended period of time. Think about how many companies we do business with today that have only been around for the past 10 to 20 years. Most of the companies that we do business with on a daily basis have not been around for 50 years. So if you have this dream that you're going to build a business and it's going to be successful for decades, there's a big gamble. Even though you should have a business as a key to lever wealth, whenever you make money from that business, you need to take a portion of it and put it towards the investment markets. That's the reason why The stock market has made so many millionaires because these people did it over time. But again, understand the difference, my people. The top 1% does not build wealth from investing. They build wealth from business. 2/3 of all millionaires in America are business owners. They build the wealth through investing, and they just take the money that they make. I'm sorry, they build the wealth through the business, and they just take the money that they make from the business and they put it into their investing. The sooner you make that shift, the better off that things will work for you long term. Let me take a quick pause to look at my comments. Arwan said that's deep. Yes, it's definitely a game changer, man. And it's definitely something that we need to be mindful of. That's why we need to get into business really as early as possible. So that way we could really start to get the ball rolling. Sis Ariel, thank you so much for the super chat. She is an incredible sponsor of the show. And as I mentioned before, Sister Ariel is the next one up to be able to get the Maximum Productivity Masterclass, all for free, all on the house as a result of her sponsorship. So thank you so much, Sister Ariel, for all of your continued support. If you and Rodney are on, please send me an email to uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. Send me an email so that way I have your email address, and I will send you a free copy of my premium masterclass just as a token of my appreciation for your sponsorship. So a lot of y'all know that when I see brothers and sisters get on here and make donations on a continuous basis, I give back to y'all. Okay, so thank y'all so much for all the sponsorships. Really means a lot. Let's now talk about the 5 easy steps to investing. Investing is a lot easier than people think. Here's how you do it. Number 1, you need to budget your money. So that way you'll know how much you can put towards investing in the first place. A lot of people just, do it on a whim. If you're trying to really get in the game of investing, it can't be a guessing game. You think Warren Buffett is guessing how much money he should put towards investments? No, he analyzes it. When you look at Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, Peter Lynch, all these different guys that have made a ton of money in the investment game, they are analyzing the numbers before they invest. You can analyze your numbers by operating off of a zero-based budget. So as I always stress, before the beginning of every month, you need to map out all of the expenses for that month, okay, before the month even begins. And that's what we're going to talk about on tomorrow's show. How to budget your money the right way with ease. I'm going to show you exactly how to be able to set up your budget in a way that is easy for you to manage. So that way you will know exactly how much money you can put towards investing. Okay, so the first step is really budgeting your money. Okay, and make sure that you're on tomorrow's show because I'm going to walk you through how to set up your budget step by step. For now, I'll just encourage you to use a platform like mint.com. It's a free budgeting software. You just need to have an easy, organized place to be able to manage your money. So that way, you know how much of it you can afford to put towards investing and pay yourself first. I'll get into all the details on how to do that in tomorrow's show. Make sure that you tune in. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is you need to research the investments that you want to make. This is the second easy step. Okay, so now that you've budgeted your money, you got a certain amount of money set aside every month for investing. Now you want to research what kind of investments you want to make. Okay, now I strongly recommend that if you want to build real wealth and not just follow a fad, you start out by investing into investment accounts that give you the best tax benefits. Most Americans lose half of the money that they earn from their jobs due to taxes. Taxes are one of the biggest killers to wealth. That's why you always see the top 1% finding loopholes out of paying taxes. If y'all don't take anything else away from this talk, walk away with this. You need to place your first investments in tax deferred vehicles, tax deferred or tax free. Now, I recommend that if you're working at a 9-to-5 job, you start with a 401k. The reason why you start with a 401k is because it is a tax deferred vehicle that allows you to not only invest your money into different investment funds in the stock market, it also comes with a company match. So for those of you guys that are working at a job that comes with benefits and a 401k plan, if you are not investing in your 401k, you are leaving money on the table every month. You are leaving free money on the table every single month. So depending upon how much you make, this is a company willing to shell out $50, $100, $200, $300 or more per paycheck towards your retirement account. And it's not your money. Follow what I'm saying. If you work for a company that offers a 401k match, they're going to match up to a certain percentage of what you put in the market. They're going to pay you your regular paycheck, and then they're going to see how much you put into your 401k plan, and then they're going to match that amount up to a certain percentage. That is free money. Now, for you guys that are trying to get into investing right now, that's the first thing that you need to do. You need to set up your 401k plan today. Before you start thinking about crypto, before you start thinking about real estate, before you start thinking about all these other things, this is an easy way to check something off the box. And you don't have to max out your 401k. You can easily just set a contribution amount up to the company match rate. So I'm gonna give an example, and just take note of this. Write this down so that way you can find this out at work. Go to work tomorrow and ask your HR department, how much is the employee match for the 401k? How much is the 401k's company match? If they tell you, okay, the match is 4%, then just contribute 4% to your 401k. They're going to match you at that 4%. So what I'm saying to make it easy in layman's terms is, when you do this, you're doubling your investment every month because they're matching whatever you put in. They're, by you taking your money and theirs, it doubles that investing every month, and you're using other people's money to do it. No brainer. Now, if you have a 401k that you're already invested into, the next tax benefit vehicle is a IRA, more specifically a Roth IRA. Now, the 401k accounts that I use and have used when I was working in corporate America is called a Roth 401k. The reason why I always enjoy the Roth is because Roth investing allows you to pay your taxes on your investment right now instead of when you pull the money out at a much later age. So to break this down, if you invest your money in, say, a 401k or a Roth IRA, an IRA is an investment retirement account. If you invest your money into these two accounts, you're supposed to keep the money in that account until you reach 62 and a half years old. Once you're 62, 63 and beyond, then that's when you can pull the money out without incurring a penalty. If you try to pull money out of your 401k or Roth IRA prior to that, then you incur a penalty. And here's another thing, and this is just a bonus tip for y'all. I tell y'all every show, I try to give y'all as much game as possible. A lot of people don't know this. For those of you that are looking to buy a home, you can legally withdraw $10,000 from your IRA penalty free, even if you are not over the age of 62. If you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, you can still withdraw $10,000 out of your IRA account as long as it's going towards the purchase of a home. So some of you guys may be thinking about real estate investing and you're looking for down payment money. One thing that you could do is pull the money out of your IRA. Now, I don't recommend that, but I'm just throwing all these different options your way. I'm just letting you know what's at your disposal if it comes down to it. I'm just trying to show you how the game is played, y'all. Okay, I'm trying to get y'all to understand that there are things that rich people know about money that we've never been taught. We've never been taught that working at a 9-to-5 job is actually the most taxable form of income out of all of the different income streams that are in the world. You're getting taxed more when you work at a job versus where you have your own business. And that's the reason why I always stress to y'all, start a business, make your money through the business, funnel it into the markets where you can start preserving your wealth. Okay. So we talked about budgeting your money. We talked about researching the investments that you want to make. I highly recommend that you start off with investment accounts to give you the best tax benefits. I like a Roth IRA as well as a Roth 401k because you pay the taxes up front. Okay, the difference between paying your taxes up front versus paying the taxes when you're like 62, 63 is, would you rather pay a tax on a $5 contribution that you make today, or would you rather wait until you're 62 to pay a tax on a $500,000 withdrawal? Do y'all follow me? When you do the Roth, it allows you to pay your tax on the money right now up front. So that way, as you get older and you have a bigger nest egg fortune, you're not getting taxed for that money. This is the reason why I recommend that you take this route, because a lot of people never understand. All these investments come with taxes. If you do just traditional day-to-day stock trading, you're paying taxes on that. If you invest in crypto, you want to pull money out of the money that you made from crypto, you're going to be paying taxes on that. Uncle Sam is always going to have a hand in your pocket on whatever money you're out here getting. So the best way for you to make the most money is to use the best tax vehicles. That comes to the Roth IRA as well as the Roth 401k, because most Americans lose 50% of all of the hard-earned money that they worked for due to Uncle Sam during their lifetime. When you look at your pay stub, look at what it says. Look at your Social Security tax. Look at all these different taxes that are on your pay stub. It adds up. Let me check this real quick. Thank you so much, y'all, for the support. Thank you so much, Akita, for the $20 super sticker. Really, really, really helps. Really, really, really important. Really, really, really makes a big deal. And I'm greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Malawaki talked about the 59.5. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so make sure that y'all look into these investment vehicles. And even for those of y'all that are entrepreneurs that don't have access to a 401k, they still have what is known as a solo 401k, which is another investment vehicle specifically for entrepreneurs. Now, let's talk about researching these different types of investments. You really need to decide up front if you're going to be an active investor or a passive investor. You know, there's some guys that like to do day trades where they're watching the stock market and they're buying and selling different stocks every single day. They're getting into options and all types of things. But that takes a lot of work. There takes effort because you have to study the market on a daily basis. You got to start switching things around. You really need to be focused. And this is the reason why you have companies like Berkshire Hathaway, as well as Bridgewater, Ray Dalio's company, that makes an entire company out of hedge fund investing. This is the reason why you have guys that are on Wall Street that do this full time, because active investing, it takes work. Now, I am personally a passive investor because, like I said, I like to put my active energy towards making the money through business. And I just look to grow and preserve the money through the investment markets. So I recommend index funds for most people who aren't experienced stock investors. So to just give you a basic breakdown on what index funds are, index funds are an index of the various stocks that are in the stock market. It's like if you had a, how they have those assorted food trays where you can get, different fruits and different vegetables and different snacks all on one platter. That's how it is when you have an index fund. It's a platter of different stocks all in one fund. And the reason why these are so valuable is because you take a big risk whenever you do individual stock investing. Companies go belly up, you lose all your money. A lot of people in the 2008 recession lost their entire retirement savings because they were not properly allocated in terms of they had all of their money in one place. So the reason why index funds are so important is because it allows you to take your money and diversify it throughout a series of different stocks, all rolled into one fund. So that way it mitigates your losses. I'm trying to put this in basic language for y'all to not make it sound too deep. I really want to be able to give back to my community, to really show you that anybody could do it. There's even a brother that became pretty famous for being in prison and teaching about stock investing. It really is something that we can all do. We just have to learn how the game is played. Now, me personally, I like to use the S&P 500 index fund. The S&P 500 is basically the top 500 largest stocks that are on the stock trade. Okay, those stocks that are in that stock market, I'm just betting on the success of those top 500 companies. So that will consist of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook. I will have all of that wrapped into an index fund. Okay. And so again, the thing that makes the S&P 500 so effective is that the S&P 500 over the past 60 plus years has outperformed over 90% of all stock investment advisors in terms of the funds that they picked. A lot of y'all, you get sold on getting a financial advisor where you spend hundreds of dollars and they just start picking all these different random stocks for you. Studies actually show that the S&P 500 index fund outperformed over 90% of active investors. So not only do you get to passively invest, where you don't have to put as much time constantly looking at the stock market, wondering what's going on, and you don't know what the hell these numbers actually mean or are saying. It's a passive way for you to invest your money, and it's actually outperforming most people that actively invest. Okay, so really there's a win-win for you all right there. You could just literally put money into that account. You can set it and you can forget it, but it's a lot more risky if you try to do that through traditional stocks. Let me continue to look at this. Shout out to my brother Rodney. You said, sorry, I missed you last night. It was quite the message. You have a wealth of knowledge, and I'd be a fool if I were to miss out. Thank you so much for all the support, my brother. Yes, last night wasn't an actual show. It was just one of the highlights from one of my previous shows, but feel free to check that out. All of my shows are aired from Sunday through Friday. I take Saturdays off. That's my day of rest. It's my time to get right with the Lord. And so I will go from Sunday all the way through Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So let me get into some of these comments. And thank you once again, Rodney. And again, if you missed me from earlier, make sure that you send me your email address. Send that to my email address, uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. And I'm going to send you the Maximum Productivity Masterclass all for free. That's one of my premium products. But because you get on this show every time I'm on and you always bring forth a sponsorship, I'm going to give back to you now, my brother, and I'm going to give you one of my premium products. Thank you so much for investing in positive black male media. Okay, so yes, I see the comments are popping. The comments are popping. The comments are popping. Akita says, amen to that. Starting a business ASAP while switching to a Roth IRA and 401k. Excellent. All praises to the Most High. Okay. Rodney says, which investment platform can we use for an S&P 500? I use Vanguard, and that was something that I was actually going to touch on as well. You need to set up a brokerage account. That's actually the next step. So you're right on time with that question. The third step in the 5 easy steps to investing is to set up a brokerage account. Or, if you're not getting into stocks per se or crypto, as well as bonds and gold, if you're doing a real estate investment, then, you may want to just simply consult a real estate agent so that way you can start looking into rental properties. But if you are getting into stocks, bonds, crypto, etc., the third step for you is to set up a brokerage account. Now, the reason why I use Vanguard is because Vanguard offers funds, competitive funds, that have very low expense ratios. I'm not trying to get too deep for y'all tonight. I'm not trying to overwhelm y'all. I'm trying to make this easy to understand. But basically, the way that you want to think about it is whenever y'all get an investment account, the advisors never tell you how much you're going to pay for the account because it's in fine print. When you invest in a mutual fund, you are paying somebody else to actively trade in that fund. They're picking stocks for you and rolling it into a fund. You're paying the investors for that. But like I just said, if index funds outperform over 90% of all investors, then your 90% of people are paying somebody else to get lesser results than what they could have gotten from an automated investment. When you invest in an index funds, the expense ratios are lower because nobody is actively managing that account. It's already compiled. The brokerage has already created a fund that matches the performance of the top 500 companies. They've already done that for you. So you're not paying a fee to a person making somebody else rich, all to not give you as much return on your investments as you could if you had an index. Now, again, I want to give my legal disclaimers. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. And as you should already know, every investment is subject to risk. The housing market has boomed and the housing market has also crashed. The stock market has had a bull market. The stock market has had a bear market. The crypto market has gone up. The crypto market has gone down. The point that I want y'all to understand is whenever you get into any investment, you should always know that it comes with some risk. It's not always going to be pie in the sky. It's a long game, but you have to make informed decisions. The reason why you get financial advisors that typically try to sell you on their packages is because they make a commission off of the plans that they sell you. This is the reason why in the financial markets, and again, not trying to confuse or overwhelm y'all, this is the reason why there's a difference between a lot of financial advisors and fiduciaries. Have y'all ever heard the term, you have a fiduciary responsibility to do this? If you have a financial advisor who is not a fiduciary, they are not legally obligated to give you stock recommendations that are in your own best interests. They can give you stock recommendations that will make them the most money through commissions. So you lose more money, they make more money. Okay. If y'all want to know more about this, you really need to join my program, 0 to 6 Figures, because I outline all of this in a 6-week masterclass. It's very hard to do the wide topic of investing in a 2-hour show, but I'm really trying my hardest, and I really appreciate all of you all for your support. Okay. Vanguard is a very good company for people who want to be able to maximize their return on the money that they invest, because their funds come with the lowest fees. If for any reason that you don't want to use Vanguard, Fidelity is good. You know, Charles Schwab has an S&P 500. A lot of the major brokerage firms come with S&P 500 index funds. Another index fund that I typically use is the Total Stock Market Fund. Okay, so for example, the Total Stock Market Fund, that consists of pretty much the entire stock market. So you buy little portions of the entire stock market to be able to get in. Now, I do want to advise you guys, when you get into certain funds, it requires minimums. There's a certain upfront minimum that you have to pay. So you'll want to research that as well. Like, for example, I know that Vanguard, they typically charge $3,000 entry to get into certain funds, but that's because it offers incredible results, or it has the potential to offer incredible results. Okay. So I'm just throwing a lot of different things at you guys. You know what I mean? Some of you guys might not be big on stocks. You might want to do, real estate investing. But again, if you don't take nothing else from this, start off with the investments that give you the best tax benefits possible. Okay. So I talked about index funds. I talked about the third easy step to investing, which is setting up a brokerage account. I actually use 3 brokerages in total. Y'all are familiar with one. I use Vanguard, Coinbase, and Webull. So I use Vanguard for my stock trading, my stocks, my bonds, gold. I get all of that through Vanguard. I use Coinbase for most of my cryptocurrency. I get Cardano on Coinbase. I get Polygon on Coinbase. You'll always hear me talking about those. If you got into Cardano from the time that I started talking about it, you already been winning. Because from the time I've been talking about Cardano, it went from $1 a share to $3 a share. And I'm very optimistic about the future of Cardano. I can't make no promises. This again, I got to give you all my disclaimer. So don't, put money in Cardano. Cardano goes down. Oh, I hate Uzziah. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's a scam artist. Everybody flag his channel. No. Every investment vehicle that I'm telling you guys goes up and down. That's life. That's why the second step is for you to do your own research on your type of investing. Okay. And some of you guys have a different talent. I want to say, like a different, you got a different knack towards different types of investing. Like, I'm not honestly a big real estate guy, but some of you guys are. I'm a lot more passionate about the stock market, Because I'm a tech investor. I come from a tech background. I went to school for tech. I've been using tech all my life. I know how tech works. So I have very good intuitions on tech stocks that are going up. I have very good intuitions on industries that are going up. I told y'all in a previous show, you'd be a fool not to keep your eyes on where a lot of these tech companies are going, especially with how society has changed after the pandemic. I told y'all about some major companies that I'm personally invested in, like DocuSign. A lot of y'all have probably heard of DocuSign before. If you've ever signed anything online, there's a 50% chance you were using DocuSign. There's so many companies that's still stuck in the Stone Age and got 20, 30 papers that they print out to make you sign something. Everything is going digital. But now people are forced to go digital due to the lockdown. I'm also an investor in Zoom. Because when the lockdowns first started popping off, instead of everybody going to their workplace, for the people that could have worked online, guess where they were going to for their meetings? Zoom. They were going into Zoom. So guess what stock shot up? Zoom. So I have certain intuitions about the stock market because I understand tech. Some of y'all may not understand tech, but you understand real estate. So you have to use what works best for you. I'm just throwing out what I do so that way you can make informed decisions. Like I said, I use Vanguard, Coinbase, and Webull. I strongly recommend that you diversify your portfolio to prevent the effects of a crash. I told y'all why I use Vanguard. I told y'all why I use Coinbase. The reason I use Webull is because, like I always tell y'all on my shows, Webull actually allows you to have a brokerage account with them where you can trade stocks and crypto. And you get 2 free stocks just for joining because Webull sponsors Black Men's Career. Okay. Yeah, Mala Walaki. That's why I mentioned Fidelity a little bit earlier. They actually have a zero index fund where you pay 0 fees to be able to get in that. Yeah. So make sure that y'all look at that because, there's just so many opportunities, y'all. There's so many opportunities. And, for any of you guys that have questions on things, just feel free to leave your question here. That's what this is about. Of course, I'm going to hit y'all with my disclaimer, but as much free game as I can give y'all, I'm going to give. Okay. So make sure that you just check this out. Now, again, you want to diversify your portfolio to prevent a crash. I have money in real estate, but if the housing market goes under, I still have money from the stock market. If the stock market goes under, I still have money from cryptocurrency. If the cryptocurrency market goes under, I still have money from my business. That's the reason why I told y'all before, the top 1% does not build wealth purely through outside investments, because the top 1% would never rely on things that they can't control to dictate their finances in a million years. They never in a million years would just throw money in the air and say, hey, I'm giving you all of my money, housing market. Hopefully you don't go under. I'm giving you all of my money, stock market. Hopefully you don't crash. I'm giving you all of my money, crypto. Hopefully you don't crash. No. They print money through their business. They create value and they give it to the world, and the world compensates them in exchange for the value given. And what they do is they take portions of it and they just use the investment vehicles to preserve their wealth. I'm going to tell you guys one of the goals that I have. One of my goals is to make a substantial amount of money from my business so that way I can invest a substantial amount of money into a municipal bond. A municipal bond is good. I like it because rather than relying on the stock market, you're letting the government borrow money. Like when you do a municipal bond, you're issuing out money to maybe a local city, or some type of municipal setup, so that way they could build a road, they can build a highway. You're funding the next highway being built, and they're going to pay you at a guaranteed amount from the government. That's one of the best ways that the top 1% makes money. I know guys right now that get checks of tens of thousands of dollars per month from the government because they just made money. Like they had a window of time where they worked hard, they made a lot of money, they put that money into a municipal bond, and then the government just sends them a check every single month. And that's it. They never have to work again a day in their life. Wouldn't that be an incredible way to do things, where you just set a window of time to say, hey, I'm going to grind from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, wherever you are. And then you just make sure that you wisely manage that money to the point where you invest in something that gives you a kickback every single month, all for free. Listen, y'all, how do y'all think banks make their money? The bank gets rich off of you. You got to tell them, Chevis, how do y'all think that banks stay in business? The banks are using your money that you put into the account, and they're borrowing it out to other people. They're making money off your dollar. So why wouldn't you set up an investment account where you could do the exact same thing? But that's a totally different thing, because then we're going to start talking about how you can set up your own family banks, like how the real top 1% do. So that way you're profiting off of your own interest rather than the bank making money off the interest of your dollar. There's a lot of different things that we could do, my people. But this is a crash course on investing 101. And I hope that you're getting a lot of value out of it. Diversify your portfolio. As I said before, I have a collection of stocks, bonds, index funds, gold, and cryptocurrency. So that way, if the value of the dollar goes down, gold can go up. If the stock market is going down, crypto may go up. If the crypto market goes down, the stocks may go up. You want to be able to have your money diversified, so that way, if any one thing doesn't work, it doesn't shut down your cash flow completely. Okay. And one thing, just as a tip, you want to make sure that you invest in specific funds, not the brokerage account. For those of y'all that I was talking to earlier about getting set up on places like Vanguard or Fidelity, Schwab, wherever you go, a lot of you guys can make a rookie mistake by opening up your brokerage account, transferring money into the brokerage, but you don't actually take the money that you put into the brokerage account and invest it into a fund. So what I'm saying is, you want to think about a brokerage like a bank. When you set up an account with a brokerage like Vanguard, they're going to have a holding account where all you're doing is transferring money. You're going to transfer money, from your checking account into your Vanguard account. But some of y'all, in never having invested before, will say, oh, okay, I just transferred $500 from my checking account into my Vanguard account, I'm good to go. No, you're not. That money is not going to increase at all. It's not until you take the money from your Vanguard holding account and start investing into the funds. Once you open up your brokerage account, you have to invest into a fund. The brokerage just allows you to look at funds that you want to invest in. So don't forget, once you set up your brokerage account, make sure you actually put the money that you're investing into a fund. When I'm saying fund, I'm talking about an index fund. Okay. An ETF, those types of things. Now, last piece that I'll give to y'all tonight. I don't want to keep y'all here all night. Make sure that you automate your investing. Okay. Automate. Do not leave it to yourself to remember, oh, I got to go into Vanguard and I got to put in X amount of money this month. No. Give yourself an automated schedule where you contribute a certain amount of money every single month, as much as you can, 5%, 10%, 15%. Just make sure that you invest consistently along the way. And I'm telling y'all now, compound interest, compound interest, compound interest. Don't wait until 60 to start getting retirement money together to retire at 60. If you are 60, it's not too late. But what I'm saying is you want to start as early as possible because compound interest works in your favor. There's so many studies that show that the earlier you invest, the more money you'll make over time, even if you invested less money than somebody that puts up more who started after you. So if you invest $50 a month in your mid-20s, you can end up walking away with more during your 60s than somebody who started investing in their mid-30s, okay? Time is a factor. There's a compound effect to the money that you have going on in the markets. So make sure that you automate your investing. And these brokerages are pretty good about their customer service. So if you have any questions for them, you go on their website, something seems confusing, just hit them up, give them a phone call. They'll show you how to do everything specific to their site. Okay, so thank y'all so much for joining. What questions do y'all have about everything that I talked about tonight? I know that I went over some pretty deep concepts, but I hope that you got something out of it. If you've been enjoying tonight's show, make sure that you smash that like button. I see that more of y'all are joining. Make sure that you smash that like button and make sure that you bring forth a super chat. Okay, this is helping y'all grow y'all's legacy, create generational wealth for you and your families. So please, in return for all of the information that you've been given, please donate to the show. Let's keep this show going. If you want to make a donation, just give a super chat by hitting the dollar icon below. And any donation that you give will be greatly appreciated. For those of y'all that are watching this show after the live broadcast, you can always make your donation through Cash App or PayPal. The information is on the screen. $ Black Men's Career. As Chevis just said, invest in positive Black media. Okay, so I'm going to put my link to Cam up. If y'all have any questions about investing, now again, I'm just going to give this again as another disclaimer. I am not a licensed investment advisor. Okay, there are some of you guys that may have questions like, should I have an investment advisor? I don't have an investment advisor. I invest my money on my own. Because when you can DIY your investing, you actually can save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. There's money that you're putting up front to pay the advisor if you have them on an annual retainer. There's money that you will have to pay the advisor in the commission fees whenever they pick the investments for you. So I tend to invest in the markets by myself. This is the reason why I talked about setting up a brokerage account. I showed y'all tonight the fundamentals of how to DIY your finances for free, how to DIY your investing strategy all for free. So that way you walk away with the most amount of money over time. Just think about it like this. If the more that you bring other people into your investment portfolio, the more people get a cut of your money before you get paid. So if you end up getting a financial advisor and you end up getting a mutual fund, listen, that's better than nothing. That's a hell of a lot better than nothing because a lot of us don't have any investing at all. So if you feel like real scared and real nervous and you would much rather do a financial investing route, I'm not going to tell you no, especially since it's just about us making, creating greater wealth. Black people only control 0.5% of all of the nation's wealth. So get in however you fit in, my people. Okay. If you feel like you need an investment advisor to be able to get started, then feel free. But I'm just telling you now, you're going to walk away with less money if you end up doing a financial advisor and then get a mutual fund, which also comes with higher expense ratios because now you're paying other investors. You're paying the advisor to set up the accounts for you. You're paying investors to actually pick your stocks. You end up paying other people your cut. So let's say that you start investing, let's say over time you invest $1 million. You've put hundreds of thousands of dollars into the pockets of other people as you were doing that. If you went that route I just told you. However, if you DIY it, you just get yourself an S&P 500 index fund. Whatever the market returns, because I'm not guaranteeing what the returns will be. Nobody knows what the market is going to do. But when you do an S&P 500 index fund, that money that you walk away with is yours. You have no financial advisor to pay. You have no, behind the scenes guys that were doing all of your picks for stocks, and it was in the fine print. You don't have none of that because you were picking the stocks for you. And like I said, if you were watching earlier, when you invest in that index fund, the index fund consists of a conglomerate of stocks on the market. They have tech index funds. They have biotech index funds. They have the S&P 500. They have the total stock that I was telling you all about earlier. Is just a matter, y'all, of getting in the game. Get in the game. Get in the game. If y'all want to cam up, I put the link in the description. If y'all don't want to cam up and you have no questions, y'all ain't got no questions on how to invest, then, hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Akita again for that $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akita. Really, really, really appreciate it. I see you. You're well on that road to you being next up for that complimentary gift. Thank you for the support. Keep showing your love. It has not gone unnoticed. I thank all of y'all for your sponsorships. Milwaukee 40 says, once I get back rolling at home dealing with Hurricane Ida, I live in New Orleans. You have my support. Okay. Thank you, Aman. I really appreciate that. Peace and blessings unto you. Much appreciated, family. Okay. Do we have any questions? Let me know if y'all have any questions. If you have any questions, I want to make sure that I'm as helpful to y'all as possible while I am online. Please make sure that you smash the like button if you're just joining, if you've got a lot of value from today's topic. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how to budget your money the right way so you know how much money you can invest. Also, please give a super chat donation by hitting the link in the description below. Now, some of y'all may have noticed in the thumbnail that it talks about taking $100 and turning that into $10,000. Okay. The way that you do that is by following the 5 steps that I gave you tonight and having the money compound over time. Like I said before, you can start off with that 100. Okay. And you could put 100 into crypto. You could put 100 into a stock. You could put 100 into things that you think will be viable. I talked about, though, making sure that you got into investment vehicles that have the best tax benefits, because remember, whatever you're putting up, companies are matching you up to a certain percentage. I 3x'd my money by investing into real estate. I was able to take a $200,000 property, and now that property is valued at over $500,000. And I'm expecting that amount to still go much higher in the coming years because Austin is definitely a boom town. Okay. So there's a lot of ways that y'all can make money. You just have to be smart about it. Okay. So any questions, y'all? Any questions? If not, let me go ahead and give y'all these 2 free stocks. This is how you can get started with zero money, and you can start getting going in this game right now. And again, As I told y'all, the stock investing is important overall because you need something to fight off inflation. If you have nothing in place to fight off inflation, you're going to be in bad shape for the years to come. A lot of y'all think that this investing stuff is optional and hey, you can just make money. But I'm telling you right now, whatever money that you got in your checking account and your savings account, that's actually losing you money. The reason why it's losing you money is because as the dollar amount stays the same, your cost of living is going up. Gas is going up. Housing is going up. Oil is going up. The cost of living in general is going up. College is going up. So while all of these things are going up, your money is staying flat. That's the reason why. And I'm going to show you all this as well. There's articles that shows that if you're not making a six-figure income, well into the six figures too, that if you're not making a six-figure income in a lot of these major cities, it's going to be very hard for you to survive. So I want y'all to take this content seriously, y'all. Okay, make sure that you're investing, and most importantly, make sure that you're getting into starting up businesses, because as I always tell y'all, if inflation rose this past year by over 3%, but your job is only giving you a 2% raise at best, that means that even though you got a raise, you are still actually losing money as though you did not get paid any more money at all, because all of the bills that you're paying money on got more expensive than what you get paid. This is the reason why business income is so important, because you can then dictate how much money you walk away with. You cannot go to your boss and ask to get paid $500 per hour, but you can build a business where you can make $500 per hour. I can show you receipts of times where I've made thousands of dollars all in 10 minutes. You have unlimited potential whenever you control your income stream. Any questions, y'all? I want to take any questions that you got before we shut off the broadcast. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me on this Sunday. Do y'all value these Sunday shows? Somebody just sent me a PayPal, so I really appreciate that. Somebody just sent me a PayPal. I'm checking through this. Let me give a quick shout out. This is from Barry Anderson. He gave me a $10 PayPal donation. He said he's been watching me for a year, retired after 30 years, purchased rental property, and have investments in the stock market, supporting your platform and the info that you teach. Thank you, my brother. Greatly appreciate it. I also got another $5 donation from the brother Miguel Newton. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you, my brother. The brother Miguel Newton is all the way in the Caribbean islands, y'all. We got Caribbean island black folks watching this channel, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the Caribbean. I need to get out there with y'all, man. I need a vacation, man. Y'all got me on these shows 6 days a week, man. I needed me a vacation, but I got to do what I do for the love of the people, man. So if you want these 2 free stocks, make sure you click this link. All right. Get your 2 free stocks here. Okay. Juice said Sunday is great. Sheva said Sunday is great. Get your 2 free stocks in the comments section below. As y'all can see, I put it on the screen as well. Go to the comment section. I'll make sure that I put this in the description of this video as well to get your 2 free stocks through Webull. Okay. This is to help y'all get started as investors, y'all. One of the best things that we can do to create generational wealth for our family is to get into investing. And if you're just getting on, I've constantly told y'all throughout this broadcast, do not rely simply on investing alone. Average people look to the stock market to build wealth. The top 1% look to the stock market to preserve wealth. You just want to use the investment vehicles to preserve your assets. You build your assets through your businesses, through your companies. Okay. Malawalaki says, I have a mobile detailing business. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Build your wealth through your business. Take the money from your business and put it into your investing. All right, y'all. Listen, it's been beautiful. In the next episode, we are going to go into how to budget your money the right way. And for those of y'all that want to learn more about how to start your business, how to set up a business that is actually designed to generate wealth, because not all businesses are designed to generate wealth. If you saw one of my last shows that I did about how to start a business, one of the things that I told you guys in that episode is that a lot of people don't structure their business for growth. They end up just creating a second job. And when you end up creating another job and calling it a business, that one becomes a lot more stressful than the job that you quit. That you end up hating this job called your business a lot more than the job that you may not like right now. And so there's a specific way that you need to structure your business. If you want to be able to create unlimited income or can create unlimited earning potential, you need to know how to do that. And I talk about that in my premier program, 0 to 6 figures. Okay. So check that out. If you want to be able to get in, I'm going to put the link to the description below. If you want to get the opportunity to join that program, I put that link in the description below. But if you want to go to my free masterclass on on the 3 keys to financial freedom, I will give y'all that link on here also. Okay. As always, I try to give y'all as much game as I possibly can. I try to give y'all as much value every episode. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you so much for your support. I just put up the link to the 3 keys to financial freedom. On tomorrow's episode, we're going to talk about how to budget your money the right way. In that episode, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process on how to easily manage your finances so that you know how much money you can afford to put towards investing so that you can pay yourself first. Make sure that you tune in, and anybody that you know that needs to hear this, have them tune in as well. Y'all know some of y'all are in relationships. Your spouse can't manage money worth nothing. Make sure that y'all tune in for tomorrow's episode. You know, some of y'all got friends with money and they blow it all down the drain because they don't know how to manage their money. We're going to talk about that and so much more. So if y'all have anybody with a business that wants it to be promoted, make sure that you send me an email, Uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. You know, I'm out here promoting these businesses for free. You get free promotion on this show. As y'all know, my YouTube channel, as of right now, has 7,000 subscribers. And really with the content that I'm giving y'all, man, I really need a lot more subscribers than that. So I pray that you have subscribed to this channel. If you have not, please make sure that you subscribe right now and tell friends about it. Tell family about it. Be your brother's keeper, man. I want this information to be accessed by all of our people throughout the world. So make sure to get these subscribers up. Please make sure that you sponsor this channel. Do the super chat by hitting the $ icon below. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, make sure that you donate to the Cash App and the PayPal information in the description of this video, or just go to the information that's on the screen. Thank you so much for all of y'all support. If you have any show ideas, if there's anything in particular y'all want me to talk about, send me your show ideas to Uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. This is where we promote other people's businesses. This is where we celebrate y'all. This is where you have a voice. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. Hey, Malawalaki, shoot me an email as well to let me know how things are going for you with Hurricane Ida. I'm definitely praying for y'all, man. Let's continue to keep praying for one another. Let's continue to encourage each other. Most importantly, keep pushing, y'all. Have a good night.